Hey, Joe, what do you got for us tonight?
Well, tonight we are covering the life of legendary radio host Art Bell, as well as the origin story of his unconventional but incredible radio show, Coast to Coast AM. We'll also cover the show's evolution throughout the years and where it is today. We'll talk about one of the show's most infamous guests and finish the episode by playing some of the crazier interviews the show has produced.
Quiet your mind. Ever since the Earth has circled the Sun, there have been fantastic tales of wonder and mystery that the fate of heart dare not discuss. But three brave, uninformed souls have the brass to tackle every extraordinary happenstance, from the modern age to the dawn of Mantis.
Welcome to Dawn of Mantis, true crime, mysteries, and more. Ivan, Joe, and Sam here. Hey, Joe, this is like one of those and more episodes, but it's also mysteries. Mm-hmm. I don't know, not so much true crime, right? I mean, is there any true crime buried in this stuff?
No, mainly focused on, paranormal stuff, UFO stuff, mysteries. I realize now that this is coming out on Halloween. I didn't realize it the whole time I was doing the research.
Oh, okay.
But this is not specifically a Halloween episode, but it fits very well with Halloween because of the theme of this Coast to Coast AM the whole time.
So no one called in and said an alien killed my dad or anything like that?
No, there were calls like that.
Okay, so we got the true crime, but it's not true crime.
No,
it's a supernatural crime.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is probably not true, but hey, to each his own if you believe that stuff. If nothing else, let's get into this. I'm excited about it.
Speaking of Halloween, Ivan, you went and did something that I've been wanting to do for a long time.
Yeah, the Eureka Springs zombie crawl.
Yeah.
We've got to all go together. I was telling Jennifer, I want to rent one of those rooms where there's like several places where you can rent and get a balcony and just hang out in the balcony and just watch it from that. I mean, I feel like if we want to do something like that, we should do it in the next, month or so, because I bet it's way booked early. So it was rainy all day, so kind of a lower turnout, but there's still a ton of zombies there. And then also afterwards, after the zombies, there's a car parade. So you can decorate your car. You could use a bunch of your stuff.
Yeah.
People do like zombie hunting rigs, and they have like skeletons all over their stuff. So we'll have to do that sometime.
Hey, let's learn a little bit about Art Bell and Coast to Coast AM.
I'm excited about this. This is a good pick, Joe. Good job.
I'm really excited about this. When we get into the weeds on this, there's a lot of technical stuff with radio, Ivan, that I can't wait to pick your brain about.
Yeah, I might even know something about that.
So hopefully many of you out there listening in podcast land, back in the day, during those late night drives you remember, or the sleepless nights, tuning into the radio to listen to the odd, the strange, the kooky, the unbelievable, dare I say, Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell. Whether it was a woman confessing to having an affair with Bigfoot, or a guy claiming he'd been abducted by a UFO and had a chip implanted in him, or a guy claiming just to have invented time travel, which we will get to, there was always something interesting on Coast to Coast AM. Great Scott. There was no, how many gigawatts was it?
1.21.
That didn't have anything to do with it, but we'll get to that. But before we get to the brilliantly bizarre radio show and listen to some of those crazy clips, which I can't wait for, by the way, let's learn about the man who created it all.
Because I know really nothing.
I didn't either. I just knew, Ivan and I were talking in the car on the way here. I didn't know anything about any of this. All I knew was many times throughout my whole entire childhood, throughout all the 90s and into the early 2000s, when I couldn't sleep or was driving late at night, I don't even remember what radio station.
I don't either, really.
You'd be flipping through and you would always catch Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell.
Anyone local, you know who you are. Let us know what station it is. I can't even remember. I'm pretty sure it was FM. I don't remember it being AM.
No, I think it was FM, yeah.
It could have been, I guess. But
I'm pretty sure it was FM. And it was just great because there's a special place in my heart where just the spooky things live. And by that, I mean like Twilight Zone, the X-Files, Unsolved Mysteries, and Coast to Coast AM. They all share that same, it's just that same spooky spot in your heart.
For sure, yeah.
But yeah, and I remember so many times catching that and just hearing, I know I've used this exact same, and I looked for this clip. Guys, doing the research for this episode, for a solid 2 weeks, all I listened to was old episodes of Coast to Coast.
That's awesome.
In my earbuds when I was mowing, out working, in the car, any minute I had spare, I would put on Coast to Coast. And there was one particular clip, and I've used it as an example of how kooky the show could be before, and I couldn't find it. But it was one time a woman called in, and she had confessed she lived somewhere in Appalachia, in Kentucky or something, and she confessed that outside of her trailer, every once in a while, Bigfoot would come up behind the trailer, and they'd had a love affair. You know, she'd made love to Bigfoot, and she described all this stuff. And the great thing about Art Bell, people could call in with the craziest story. And he was just like, oh, interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
What was that like?
I just wonder,
I'd be scared.
A long time ago, he probably figured out, like, you're probably going to say this in your notes, where he was like, let's let everything. Let's not cut off anyone. Let's just let this happen. I kind of believe her story is probably true, but it's probably just some guy that let himself go. And she was probably like, it's Bigfoot, but it's really just some guy that, you know, has a lot of hair and didn't take a shower for a long time. You know?
Some hairy old mountain man.
Exactly.
Wander up to that trailer and get me a slice every once in a while. She thinks I'm Bigfoot.
All I got to do is take off my clothes and walk up behind her trailer.
She has sex
There's
with me.
Bigfoot.
It's
again.
amazing. He stinks to high heaven, but he is a gentle and thorough lover.
Jim, you forgot to take your hat off. Oh. This time Bigfoot had a hat.
He had a Cabela's hat on.
Exactly.
It's weird. He was wearing flip-flops.
It'd be Bass Pro. You know it would be.
Bass Pro. That's true. No, he has a Dusty Slay. We're having a good time hat on. Where did
Well, he was.
We're having a good time.
Mental note, just let yourself go and wander up behind some lady's trailer in the middle of nowhere, and it's a sure thing. So, Arthur William Bell was born in North Carolina on June 17th, 1945. Both of his parents were in the military. His father was a colonel in the Marines. From a very young age, Art was interested in following his father's footsteps to a military career. But he was also deeply interested in something else, radio. In 1958, at the age of 13, Art became an amateur radio operator. Isn't that just the same thing as saying a ham radio operator?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
All right. He held an extra class license. This is the top FCC class of license one can hold.
Wow.
His call sign, listed in the winter of 1959, was KN3JOX. In 1963, fresh out of high school, Art followed in his parents' footsteps and joined the military. After training in the Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas, he was sent to the Amarillo Air Force Base. It was there that Art began a pirate radio station, KMED Amarillo. Art and his buddies built a broadcasting tower strong enough to cover the entire base, and he began hosting daily shows and playing rock and roll music. Then they beefed up the signal enough that most of Amarillo could receive it, and KMED quickly became one of the most popular radio stations in the city.
But it was pirate.
You're right. So it eventually showed up on the Arbitron ratings and was noticed by the other stations. So after just 1 year, KMED was forced to stop broadcasting. But of course, that wasn't the end of Art's radio career. Ivan, what is the Arbitron ratings? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it showed up on the I guess it's just kind of like the Nielsen ratings
That's
for
kind
television.
of what I was thinking it was.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this brings us to 1964, when America's involvement in the Vietnam War was really ramping up. Art was soon sent to Da Nang, where he served as a non-combat medic. He also served at Clark Air Force Base in the Philippines. Art left the military once his 4 years were up and remained in Asia and moved to Okinawa, Japan. There, he got a job as a DJ at station KSBK, the only non-military English-speaking radio in Japan.
I believe it's Okinawa.
Station. Didn't I say Okinawa?
You said Okinawa.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, I meant Okinawa. Sorry. That was a flub on my part.
Well, only because of the Karate Kid, I know that.
Good job, Danielson.
Art hosted a show there for the following 6 years and claimed to have set 2 world records while working in Japan. So it seems like, obviously, he wasn't doing the spooky kooky stuff with the call-in listeners and stuff. Back then, he was just playing good old-fashioned radio. And we've covered in the past, like the Peter Tripp sleep experiment and different things. DJs in the past would do these crazy stunts, to kind of ramp up listeners and stuff. So he did a couple. Art stayed up to host his show for a solid 5 days and 5 nights, or 115 hours and 50 minutes.
Why was that such a common thing?
I don't know. And I don't remember how long Peter Tripp stayed up.
I think it's more than that.
It was. We did a whole episode on it, but it was a long time ago.
I'll never forget the REM sleep while he was awake.
Yes.
I think about that sometimes.
Full hallucinations,
He's
man.
like, there's spiders on my shoes. And
Yeah.
they're like, no, there's not.
And he thought something was on fire and he was freaking out. Yeah.
Yeah.
The second record was set when Art broadcasted 57 consecutive hours while what? What do you think?
In the bathtub?
While riding on a seesaw.
Okay.
While seesawing.
Do you mount the mic to the seesaw?
I imagine.
Oh, yeah.
How does that work?
And who was on
Yeah.
the other end, right? I
Yeah.
don't know. I
That
don't know.
seems like you'd have to do that. Or else it'd be like, hello, hello, oh.
You have to pad that seesaw seat.
While in Okinawa, Art married Sachiko Taguchi. Sorry, everyone. The first of several wives.
Okay.
Art moved back to the States in 1970 and for the next few years worked in various states at various radio stations. He also divorced Sachiko and married his second wife, Vicki Baker, in 1975. Then, 3 years later, came the show that would give birth to the legendary Coast to Coast AM. While working at station KDWN in Las Vegas, Art began hosting a political talk show called West Coast AM. But Art grew sick of political talk. Don't blame you, buddy. Within just a few months, and began shifting the focus of the show towards conspiracy theories.
All right.
One of his first guests was pilot and UFO conspiracy theorist John Lear, son of William Lear, founder, designer, and developer of the legendary,
Learjet.
you knew it, Learjet. He also began to take calls from people claiming to have experienced all kinds of things from UFO abductions to paranormal experiences. And unlike many other call-in shows, Art never screened incoming calls.
Wow.
That's why you get so much good stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
The end result was some crazy and interesting shows, and West Coast AM's popularity skyrocketed. Art continued to host the show for the next 10 years, until moving the broadcast from the luxurious Plaza Hotel in Vegas to a tiny wood-framed building on the outskirts of Pahrump, Nevada.
Okay.
Little old town Pahrump.
Parump. Parump.
That's how it's spelled.
Can I get a parump? Parump.
It was also at this time the name of the show was changed to Coast AM,
Oh, wow.
and it aired on 95.1 FM.
Cool.
The show also began an annual Halloween episode called Ghost to Ghost.
Very appropriate.
A few years after relocating to Pahrump, Art and Vicki got a divorce, and he remarried a woman named Ramona Lee Hayes, wife number 3, but
Okay.
not the last.
Okay.
That was in 1991. 4 years later, on April 19th, 1995, Timothy McVeigh used a massive bomb he'd constructed in the back of a moving truck.
That was out of nowhere.
Well,
Go
it
ahead.
plays into the story.
Okay.
To destroy, mostly, the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in downtown Oklahoma City. We all remember that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We do. I don't know if y'all listening are old enough to, but this act of domestic terrorism caused many in the media to shy away from topics like government conspiracies and anti-government rhetoric for fear of being blamed for or inciting any more attacks. Coast to Coast AM was no exception, and it was around this point the show began to focus entirely on fringe topics like the occult, ghosts, paranormal activity, UFOs, abductions, astral projection, telekinesis, cryptids, and all sort of high strangeness like that.
I could see the Men in Black listening to Coast and Coast, getting leads for,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, it's like on the movie Men in Black, where when they go and they get like the
It's the
National
National
Enquirer.
Enquirer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Their
like,
lead
well,
sheets.
We better check
that's
the
right.
papers.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's like, wait, you're reading the National Enquirer?
Yeah.
You know, it's like Bill Clinton meets with alien in the White House.
That's amazing.
In March of 1997, I'm leading in all kinds of other events, and we actually did a 3 or 4 part series on what I'm about to mention. March of 1997, almost exactly 2 years after the Oklahoma City bombing, a cult leader named Marshall Applewhite led 38 of his followers to commit mass suicide, Heaven's Gate. And by the way, go check out our Heaven's Gate series. The group believed the approaching comet Hale-Bopp was being followed by a UFO that was going to rescue them from Earth. Throughout the preceding year, Hale-Bopp had been a very frequent topic of discussion on Coast to Coast, and Art had interviewed several guests who claimed an object was following behind it. After the Heaven's Gate cult mass suicide, Art came under fire by many who believed his show contributed to the cult's belief in the UFO that was coming to get them. Art rightly responded that he was only discussing the possibility of a trailing object and never instructed anyone to kill themselves. And this is the thing. It's the thing. Remember back in the 80s where they were like trying to blame rock and roll lyrics or like video games for killings and stuff. And, you know, if we're going to extend that level of responsibility to everything, no art could be created ever.
Sure.
Like no slasher film could ever, no horror film could ever be created. Oh, well, he stabbed his friend Jimmy because on Scream, the ghost stabbed the guy. You know, you can't do that.
Because you can just look at pop culture and you could say, well, that person was doing this thing in pop culture. And then at the same time, he did this horrible crime.
Yeah.
Well, it has to be because of that.
Right.
But you could take anyone from his age group and they're probably doing similar things and they would have something, you know?
Yeah.
It's not causation. I mean, I feel like those people probably believed what they said when they were trying to get things banned. I'm not trying to defend them.
It's causation without representation.
That's right. That's what started our country.
Coast to Coast came under such scrutiny because at the time it was being syndicated on close to 500 stations across the U.S. and Canada and was quite literally America's highest rated late night radio talk show. By the way, it wasn't just weird and quirky callers and conspiracy theorists on Art's show. He also interviewed folks like Willie Nelson, George Carlin, Merle Haggard, Joe Rogan, Dean Koontz, Michio Kaku, Crystal Gale, and future Coast to Coast AM host George Norrie.
Joe Rogan?
Yeah. Rogan's been into this stuff since a long ago, man. Like late 90s?
Would you know when Rogan was?
Mid-90s?
Do you know when he was on there?
No. And I don't remember hearing really any of those people on there. I just remember Coast to Coast more for the, you know, the weird.
Weirdos.
Yeah, for the weirdos. And I didn't know those people were on Coast to Coast until I did this episode, guys, to be honest. I'm not surprised. Well, I knew George Norrie had been on it because he eventually took over. He's the current host. Rogan, he's been into this stuff forever, so I knew he'd been on it too, and I think I've heard him talk about it on his podcast. But anyway, so during the late 90s, Coast to Coast AM was enjoying its heyday, which made what was about to happen next all the more surprising. On October 13th, 1998, Art announced on the show that the broadcast they were currently listening to would be his last. He would later blame the retirement on threats being made toward his family. Throughout the rest of the year, Art, quote-unquote, retired several more times, citing reasons from family crises to back pain. In 2003, longtime collaborator George Norrie became the permanent host of Coast to Coast AM. 3 years later, Art's wife, Ramona, passed away suddenly from an asthma attack on January 5th, 2006, while they were on a trip to Laughlin, Nevada. Not long after Ramona's death, Art married his fourth wife, a woman named Melanie Holtzman, and the pair moved to the Philippines where the show was hosted for the next few years. Now, I couldn't find exact dates and details on their marriage, but it seemed to be brief because not long after, Art and Melanie divorced and he married his fifth and final wife, 22-year-old Erin Ruiz. So Art was in his early 60s at the time. So good on you, boy, I guess, if you can do it. Erin Ruiz Bell would remain married to Art for the next 10 years until he eventually passed away. Now, Art was never fully committed to Coast during his final years. In 2008, he sold the KNYE station, but did periodically return to host random episodes of Coast to Coast, while guest host covered in the interim. That is until December 2010, when he cut all ties with the show, stating, quote, "I no longer wish to be associated with what Coast to Coast AM has become." And I don't know why he had that sudden distaste for it. I don't understand. But
what had it become?
I don't know.
Anything different than what it was?
Maybe so. He thought so. I don't know. I don't know about the whole thing.
Yeah, he also had 5 wives.
Yeah. He had so many wives. Other than classic episodes, Art's name was removed from the franchise, and Coast to Coast released a statement that said, quote, "Art Bell decided he no longer wished to do live Coast to Coast shows and asked that his name be removed from the host listings accordingly." Quote. Yeah.
Yeah, something went down.
I know that he and George Norrie were at odds on a lot of things. I don't know the details, but, you know, they were at odds most of the time. Art returned to the air in 2013 with a new show on Sirius XM titled Dark Matter with Art Bell. But Art left the show after just 6 weeks. 2 years later, he returned yet again with another show called Midnight in the Desert, but abandoned that show as well after just a few months, citing safety concerns for his family. He's, I'm catching a little paranoia here. I don't know if it was well-founded, but Art said that he had been hearing gunshots around his property. And so he got paranoid. Listen, I live in the country like I don't live in the Nevada country, but I live in Arkansas country, and I hear gunshots around my property quite a bit, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone's trying to kill me. I hope not. If so, they're a bad shot because I've been out there a lot. I heard
Maybe they were real close.
Him and Randy Quaid need to
the Hollywood
focus
Star
group.
Whackers. Well, that was one of our first episodes with Sam.
Yeah.
Randy Quaid.
Oh, yeah.
The following year, Art posted that he'd been hospitalized for pneumonia and revealed that he suffered from chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. By the way, Art Bell, for his entire life, was like a 2 or 3 pack a day chain smoker. 2 years later, on April 13th, 2018, Art Bell passed away at his home and what was it? What'd you call it? Perump?
Well, I just said what you said.
Okay, well, you said it with vigor.
Well, yeah.
I like the way you said
I was
it.
doing Mel Brooks, Blazing Saddles.
Yeah, perump. Yeah.
Yeah. Harumph. Hey, I didn't get a harumph from this guy. Harumph.
Art was 72 years old. A toxicology report would later reveal that his death was caused by accidental overdose of, are you ready? Because it's a long list.
Okay.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, Art Bell. Here we go. Vicodin, hydrocodone, oxycodone, Valium, and carisoprodol.
Did you say accidental overdose
I mean,
of all those things together?
yeah, I don't know. That's a lot of stuff, guys. That's a lot of stuff to take.
I mean, I don't think you can take oxy and hydrocodone
And Valium
at the same
Valium
time.
and Vicodin.
Problem with any of that is your body just thinks you need more.
Okay, so as far as all the laundry list of things we talked about that Art had took, they were all prescribed. I mean, that doesn't mean shit, but they all were.
Well, yeah, for sure.
And Art may have been able to survive the cocktail if not for his chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and hypertension.
You know, we don't know what the doses were. It could have been low dose. And sometimes I'll take my medicine at night or whatever, and I'm like, did I take it? I can't remember. I'll take it again. You don't know if that could be the case too. I mean,
Yeah.
you just kind of get out there and you don't know if you've taken it before.
Yeah, and like the toxicology report, like you said, it may have showed when you see that list, it could have been minute. It could have been minute
Yeah.
levels of those. We don't know.
Yeah.
Art Bell left behind quite a legacy in the form of one of the longest running and most popular radio broadcasts ever, and a career that spanned more than 5 decades. And now comes the part of the episode. Oh, I'm so excited, guys.
The
I'm
clips.
so excited. Like I said, over the last few weeks, I've been mining old episodes of Coast to Coast AM. And I tell you what, I got a list of like 12, 13 clips. And I'm like, oh, that's good. That's enough. And then I would go mow with my earbuds and listening to old episodes. And I would hear 2 more clips. And then I would hear 2 more. And then I sent Sam a list of like 24, I think, clips.
Yeah.
I'm like,
awesome.
and we don't have to play all of them, but I want to play as many of them as we can. But first, I want to cover one of the most famous or infamous guests that Coast to Coast AM ever had. And the first round of clips we're going to play are from Mike Madman Markham. Okay?
Okay. Is he a regular?
No. So this is a weird thing.
It's a one-off?
He didn't even call in.
Okay.
And this is one of the rare cases, maybe the only case, where Art had heard about this guy's story and looked him up and called him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so Art was really interested. Now, here's the story, and I'm going to go through the story really quick, and then we'll listen to the clips. So, let's go back. It was the spring of 1995, okay? Nirvana's In Utero was blazing the charts.
Yep.
Heart-shaped box, you know?
That's right.
Dumb, Scentless Apprentice. And Mike Markham was living in Stanberry, a tiny town in northwest Missouri, which, by the way, is less than 30 miles from Skidmore.
Wow.
As the crow flies. Yeah, because when I looked it up, I was like, well, that looks like it's close to Skidmore. By golly, it is close to Skidmore.
So this guy knew all about that story.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah, he had to.
So here's the thing, and you guys will know about this. Like I always say, you guys bring the smart, I bring the fart. Sam and Ivan are the technical dudes that know things, and I just like read words. He was building a technical device known as a Jacob's ladder.
Okay.
Right. Your Ivan knows. A device that has 2 vertical rods along which an electrical current arcs upward and, when power is applied. So everyone's seen it. It starts at the bottom, goes up, and then it just repeats that process.
Mm-hmm.
But these devices are sensitive to all kinds of things like atmospheric pressure, humidity, and air temperature. To mitigate this, Mike decided to try to use modified lasers from a CD player to slightly heat the conductors, thus lowering air resistance and increasing the device's ability to create the electric arc. After modifying the device, Mike turned it on and it began to successfully produce the traveling arcs. But as it did, he noticed a faint, distorted, circular area above it. Imagine a waviness effect like you see above a hot highway in the summer, that little...
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
Even after a few minutes, the strange energy field did not go away. So Mike decided, and this is how the story goes. You guys believe it or not, I don't give a shit. Mike...
This is Ripley's?
Yeah.
Mike decided to try an experiment. He grabbed a small metal screw and tossed it into the distorted area, the energy field, as it were, and the screw disappeared.
Whoa.
Just for a few seconds. And then later, a few seconds later, it reappeared on the table next to the device that it was sitting on, okay? Like 2 feet from it. So he throws it in, it disappears for about 3 or 4 or 5 seconds, and then it appears sitting on the table. And he's like, well, that was weird, right? That was not expected. So Mike repeated this experiment several times and every time got that same result until finally the field disappeared. It was at this point Mike Markham believed he had created
a portal?
A portal. A rip in time. Technically making his device, in his own mind, a time machine.
I thought you were going to say, like, threw a cat into it or something.
A cat comes into play later.
Okay.
Are you freaking kidding me?
And maybe I kind of know something about this.
You must have heard about it. Okay, we'll get to that. This is when Mike decided to build a much bigger version of the device, increasing it from 18 inches tall to 8 feet tall. He thought he would recreate the portal in like a huge version of it.
Sure. Oh, yeah. That's what you have to do. I could have told you that from the beginning. It's like doesn't have any useful value until we can put something the size of a human in it.
Exactly. Or a cat. Anyway.
I'd send a Terminator back.
But this would require a lot more power. Here's what happened. Mike traveled 11 miles south of Stanberry to the little town of King City, where a power substation was located. There, he and a few friends stole 6 transformers, each more than capable of handling 50,000 volts.
Okay.
That he figured he required for this.
Stole transformers.
A few weeks later, his upscaled, beefier device was complete. After a failed test run that killed power to a few city blocks, and when you look this up, most accounts will tell you that he killed the whole power to Stanberry. It was just 2 blocks. Okay. And he literally did. We'll get into it, but Mike made some adjustments and finally got his time machine to recreate the strange energy field like before, only this time it was much bigger. Mike began tossing small objects into the field, and this time, they were disappearing completely.
Okay.
Just gone. Okay? Yeah. He even pushed his couch into the vortex with the help of a couple of friends, and it disappeared.
Wow.
Now, this is where the cat comes in. There was a rumor online and on Reddit and all this crap that his cat had been on the couch. He didn't realize it. They picked up the couch and tossed it, and then he was like, oh, shit, my cat was on that couch. But that was not true. He later confirmed on Coast to Coast AM that his cat was safe and sound. So... Not in another dimension.
Yeah, where's that couch at?
Where'd the couch go, man?
I just wonder if some druggy person, they just walked in the living room and there was another couch. Cool, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's why it's never reported.
Yeah.
It's like back in the 70s. Yeah. I think this couch is from the future.
This is a newer couch. It's an old new couch. So Mike had plans for more experiments, but then, guess what? Johnny Law came a knocking.
Oh, man.
The police had connected Mike to the stolen transformers from over in King City.
Oh, yeah.
Mike told the arresting officer, Stanberry Police Chief Tom Hampton, about his time machine project, and then Mike was arrested and sentenced to 60 days in jail and 5 years probation. Now, it was also an interview that I found. We'll get into it, but this Stanberry Police Chief Tom Hampton... When Art Bell had Mike on his show, Tom Hampton called in.
Okay.
And he's like, hey, this is the guy who arrested you. And Mike was like, what's up? And but he verified that, Mike had knocked power out to a couple of blocks before that. But
I support the rule of law, but all you got to do is tell the guys okay, when you're done with these, I want you to put them back to where and when you got them. So you just put them back, so it'll be like they're never gone.
Right.
So I'm going to need some more transformers for that, though. Oh, yeah, you would, wouldn't you?
So Mike was released from jail on March 30th of 1995, and he went straight back to tinkering with his time machine. Only this time, he bought the necessary equipment instead of stealing it.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's good.
He'd earned the nickname Madman, and his story became pretty popular around Missouri. He made local news as well. One paper had the headline, "Missouri Man Attempts to Make Time Machine on Back Porch," because it was his back porch.
That's awesome.
I love shit like that. I
Me
love
too.
it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mike's story instantly became famous, or at least around the area. How popular? Well, Art Bell had caught word of it, in Pahrump, Nevada. So it made it that far.
It's weekly world news, when you go to the checkout line. It's got to be. It's, on the same episode as Bat Boy.
I can see that Missouri Man Makes Time Machine on Back Porch. I can see that
just
on
black and white text. Shows a guy, there's a grill, and then there's a time machine next to it.
Yeah, I love it. Well, so Art was so fascinated by this story that, like I said earlier, he tracked Mike down and got an interview on April 18th, 1995, just a week before my 15th birthday. Let's play a little bit of that interview right now.
I set out to find young Mr. Markham, and I found him. It wasn't easy. I went through a couple of our affiliates, and then I just started going to phone directories and rooting about, and lo and behold, there was a new number, and it was Michael's, and I've got Michael here. And so I thought I would ask him, and I did a little earlier today, and we're going to go through it right now and find out exactly what it is Michael was trying to do. Let's go kind of back through the story like you and I did earlier today. Why did this begin in the first place? What were you trying to do in the first place?
Originally, I just set out to make a fancy Jacob's ladder, and this was like what it turned out to be.
So then you did this, you built this thing, and you had the ark, and you were able to achieve the ark, is that correct?
Yeah.
All right, so here you have this beautiful ark going, or was it not quite going the way you wanted it to?
Well, it was like a little bit it was like kind of touchy, because it's like the bottom of the metal rods.
Right.
Where the spark starts, if they're too close together, the spark will stick. But if they're too far apart, it won't arc at all. So it was like real touchy. If I moved a fraction of a millimeter, the thing stuck, and if I moved it too far apart, it didn't do anything. So what I set out to do was use the heat from a laser to
get it started or something?
Yeah, get it going by itself.
I see. So then you got the laser. Did it do what you wanted it to do, start the spark?
Yeah, it's had some other effects I didn't expect.
Well, and therein lies the story. Other effects you didn't expect, like what?
Well, there's that spark's pretty hot, so you're going to have a heat signature right above it. But
you mean kind of like a hazy glow or something?
Well, kind of like wavy. If you take a lighter and look right above it, you'll see the heat from it.
That's right.
It's real faint. But now I was expecting. I knew that it was going to be probably an extra a bigger heat signature from the laser, but this one was almost right above it. It was the regular heat signature, but it was almost kind of circular shaped in the center. Sort of like
a glow.
Not really a glow. It's if you don't really look at it, you can't see it.
Is it when you're out in the desert in the middle of summer and you see the shimmering coming off a road?
Yeah.
Is it like that?
Yeah, but it's normally those are just wavy lines straight up and down, kind of.
Right.
But this one had the straight up and down ones, but they were kind of circular shaped in the center.
Huh.
I mean, it seems like the guy's authentic. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't red flag to me. I'm not saying the story's true, but I'm just saying at least it's like he believes what he's saying.
Kind of sounds like it, doesn't it?
Because it's whenever he asks him a question, is it like this? And he's like, no, it's not like that. It's like this.
Yeah. I thought that too when Art was like, oh, kind of a glow. And he's like, no, not a glow.
Yeah.
It's like if you don't look directly at it, you kind of see it out of your peripherals.
Sure. Yeah. It's neat. Now, the whole time I'm thinking about how cool it was to turn on that show when you're, say driving home from Oklahoma City or something and you just hear it, it just seems real cool. I mean, it doesn't really matter if the story's true or not. At that time, it's just a story.
It's like dark and you're on the highway.
Yeah, exactly. It's cool.
It's the setting. The feeling is all right. I love it. It's great.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay, so let's break it down. During that interview, Art allowed people to call in and ask questions to Mike directly. Millions of people were tuned in because this was a big ass radio show at the time. And many called in, including, like I said earlier, Officer Tom Hampton, the guy who had arrested Mike.
Wow.
Several other people also called in, scientists, physicists, and others offering to financially back Mike and help him build his new machine. So people were believing this.
Wow.
After the show, Mike was fully funded, and over the following year, he built a newer, even bigger version of the time machine in a warehouse in Overland Park, Kansas.
Wow.
When the machine was turned on, and this is all according to the story, right? I don't know if any of it's verified. When it was turned on, it created a much larger version of the exact same vortex Mike had created before. When objects were thrown into it, like baseballs and pieces of wood, they would vanish, but just for a couple of minutes. Then they'd reappear about 100 yards away, always to the east or to the west. Okay? Due east or due west. And by the way, there are no damn videos of this. This took place when video was around. You could record it. There are no videotapes of this. I'd just like to say that. For months, he supposedly did these tests, right?
Well, I mean, even Doc Brown was videoing stuff back in the 80s.
Exactly.
That's true, yeah.
Why not video it?
Yeah,
okay.
That's the old JVC.
Yeah, the great big ass sits on your shoulder. After several successful tests with inanimate objects, Mike began to toss small animals like mice and rats and guinea pigs into the vortex.
That's just wrong.
According to the story, they also disappeared and reappeared 100 yards away, totally unharmed. This was supposed. Now, by the way, I don't believe any of this shit. I don't believe any of it. At this point, I don't believe any of this. You would have videotaped it. If this was really going on, I would have videotaped it, and I would have been on every TV station in America. You know what I mean?
I feel like if it existed, there would be like the Amazon portal, and you'd buy that, and you'd order something, and you'd have it just in a minute.
Yeah.
Like it'd be in your garage, right?
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, get it in less than 10 minutes.
So, yeah, the other day, like a month ago, my wife, her thing she always says to me is, you never listen to me. And then she follows it up with some other stuff that I don't remember because I kind of tune out. But
you just confirmed she's correct.
So the other day, this is like a month ago, I heard her, like, she talks a lot, and I talk a lot to her, but I don't think we listen to each other, really. But I heard her say, and she doesn't really talk like this, but if I could have like one thing right now, my God, like when I was younger, like in the early 2000s, I always wore Clinique Happy. That's the fragrance. It's called Clinique Happy, okay? And for some reason, those two words, just Clinique Happy, just like stamped on my brain. And then all the other words went flutter, flutter, flutter. I don't know what she was talking about. So like a few weeks later, I'm like Clinique Happy. You know what? I'm going to prove to her that I do listen to her sometimes, right? So I get online and I find Clinique Happy, and it is expensive. It is way more expensive than I thought it was, but I went ahead and ordered it, and I ordered it on October 14th, okay? And so it said it's going to be in 3 days, October 17th.
Sure.
And October 16th, it said there was a mechanical delay. I don't know, did a truck break down? Then 2 days later, it said there was a sorting delay. And then anyway, it ended up being like just a day or two ago. It took like 7 or 8 days for this shit to show up at the house. But Jessica had no idea. All I told her was, and I'm terrible at keeping secrets, but I came home after I ordered it and I was like, hey, you know how you say I never listened to you? Huh?
You did a great delivery of giving her this gift. This was like spite gift.
It was
a spite gift.
It was. I was like, something's going to show up at the house in a couple of days, and you're going to know I do listen. And she's like, oh, that's sweet, kind of in a weird way, kind of in an aggressive,
exactly.
like up yours kind of way. And I was like, no, it's all with love, baby. I love you. So anyway, when it finally eventually did come in, because I think she started to think I was lying, because I'm like, it's going to be in tomorrow. And then I was like, I got an email that said it's not going to be in for 2 more days, but
which is, she should have been very skeptical because normally whatever you order, if it says the date, I mean, depending on who you ordered it from, was it Amazon?
I think it was. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty rare.
Delivered by UPS, though. It was delivered by UPS.
No, not lately. They've
been bad?
Been terrible.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then so eventually, and I told her, I was like, I got you something I was like, it's going to prove that I do listen to you sometimes. And then the night before it showed up, I was like, do you have any guesses? And she's like, I was like, what's something you'd really want right now? And I swear to God, it was so perfect. She's like, man, if anything, I really want that Clinique Happy. I just love the way it smells. And I was like, oh, well, anything else? Like, I really played it off well. Like,
anything else?
Oh, shit. Oh, anything else? He's like, oh, I don't know. Anyway, so the stuff actually showed up. And she was all, oh, my God, she's spraying all over herself. And she probably felt like she was 21 again, like when we first met, 18 years ago.
What did you think of the smell?
It's great.
Is it really?
Oh, yeah. Like, I don't know if any of y'all out there, I'm going to do a free ad for Clinique Happy. It smells wonderful.
I quit doing cologne, and probably Dusty Slay confirmed it for me. Because remember his bit about cologne?
I don't know if
He's like, the only response I ever got from wearing cologne is, who's wearing the cologne? It's a great line. And it's like, he's right. It is. I have some beard stuff I put on, but other than that, I'm not doing cologne.
It's just deodorant, right?
Well, no, I've got some beard like oil stuff that I put
Remind
on.
me to smell your beard after the podcast.
I have the stuff in the truck. You can just smell the thing directly.
No, I want to smell the beard.
I don't know if I'm comfortable with that. You get more from the can. It's probably worn off by now. But anyway, that's all I'm doing from now on because it's an itchiness thing.
All right.
Sam knows. You know too.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. So, yeah, that was my Clinique Happy story that has nothing to do with anything really, but I told it. So
No, we talked about ordering stuff, so that works.
There you go.
It fits.
So, supposedly Mike is doing all these things, and there were supposedly several witnesses there. No one had a camera for some reason, but we'll get past that. 16 months after their first interview, Art interviewed Mike again to rehash the original story and also catch up everyone on his progress. We won't replay any of that because it was, I don't know, nothing too interesting in that. But then in 1998, about a year after that second interview, while tinkering on the machine, Mike decided to perform the ultimate test.
Himself.
You got it. You got it, buddy.
Uh-oh.
He jumped into the vortex, and guess what happened?
He went slightly to the east.
100 yards slightly.
It's proof I am paying attention. Or to the west. Never to the north or south, though.
He went slightly to the east. That's... Oh, no, you are all wrong. He vanished completely.
Oh, man, he's just waiting to appear somewhere. Probably.
Yeah, he vanished completely as the story goes. This part of the story seems to be verified because no one, honestly...
Well, wait a second.
What?
It's not verified just because he's missing. The machine did it. I mean, if I want to be the ultimate shyster, I could say that I jumped in my machine and then just like go to Tahiti.
You're true. Yeah, that's right.
Was there any witnesses to him jumping in the
Oh,
machine?
sure, supposedly. But there was also witnesses to hamsters, reappearing in a field 100 miles to the east, or 100 yards, sorry.
Oh, did he ever do the thing like Einstein put the watch on him so he could see how much time elapsed on their perspective?
So when I was listening to this, somebody suggested that he throw a watch into it and see if it comes back with a different time.
Exactly.
But I think he said that metallic objects wouldn't work or something when they got thrown in.
Which
I don't know.
they confirmed in the Terminator, because that's why they had to put the stuff around the Terminator, because the metal wouldn't go. It had to be bio.
Obviously,
Well,
this
wait a
story's
second.
totally true then.
No, you said he threw something else that was metallic earlier.
Well, the screw, but it came back. But, it didn't have any working mechanism in it.
The first thing.
Yeah, he threw a screw.
Oh, so nothing with...
like gears and,
but the screw's a simple machine. That's an inclined plane around a cylinder.
Yeah.
It really is.
I don't know.
Think about it. Think about that.
That's all it is.
They took, which an inclined plane, if you remember from middle school science, is a simple machine where if you can't get a heavy barrel up on a platform, you put a ramp, right?
Yeah.
So they decided to build that ramp in a circle around a cylinder, and they're able to tighten that so you can actually get leverage to actually hold two things together.
It's brilliant.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Same thing, gears on a bike are like a lever, but it's wrapped around a chain, which is wrapped around a sprocket, because you're sacrificing distance for torque. I don't know.
See, that's why Ivan is the head of our science department.
I just said that in case there's a big nerd out there like me that thinks about stuff like that. It's like, oh yeah, that's all you're doing, because when you're going uphill, you're pedaling a lot, but you're going real slow. It's the same thing as a long giant bar, like lifting up a rock.
Yeah.
Just a little
the longer
bit.
the bar, the more leverage.
Yeah, that's right. Same thing on the pedal.
Mm-hmm.
Same
right.
thing in your transmission in your car.
Yeah. Oh, the gears. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yep.
I think that stuff's kind of cool.
Well, it also reminds me like the screw pumps at my work.
Oh, yeah.
So there's 3 long, like 30-foot long screw pumps that are, like maybe a 45-degree angle that go down into this pit. When the pit fills up with sanitary sewer, a float indicates that it's full, and one of the 3 screw pumps kicks on, and it's just a long cylinder, like Ivan said, with a what'd you call it?
Inclined plane.
Right, and it
wrapped around it. Yeah,
it turns on.
That's a better example than my screw thing.
In a trough, and it brings the water up. To the top of the building. Yeah,
Archimedes created that, right?
Yeah, actually, it's an Archimedes screw, is all it is.
Yeah.
Except for I don't have slaves at either end turning it. It's a machine. It's a motor.
Anyway, so he jumped in it, or did he like run? And
he ran and jumped into it and disappeared. Okay.
Wow. It seems like he could get a homeless guy. Really, like I put McDonald's 100 yards to the east of here, and you jump in and go get it.
Yeah. Yeah, so, if anyone gets offended by that, they pull out your tampon. You're good.
Like, oh, it's
Don't
to
worry
the
about
west.
it.
Another
It's
guy
fine.
got it.
Oh,
man,
you ended up at the
missed
Taco
it.
Bell.
Anyway, he's gone, man.
But not technically gone in the traditional sense.
Wait a second.
All right,
Wait.
Bear with me.
There's only one type of gone.
So in one reality, he's gone for 2 years. No one can find him. But actually, he'd woken up just a few seconds later after jumping into the vortex.
Where?
Okay, he'd woken up in a field just outside Fairfield, Ohio, 800 miles due east of where he'd just been. 800
Why did
miles.
he go so much further, though?
I don't know. Why would he go further than a guinea pig?
More mass equals more.
Right, okay. So instead of 100 yards, 800 miles. So he brushes himself off, right? He kind of has like a slight case of amnesia. At first, he doesn't remember much. So he walks into town, and he happens to see a newspaper lying on the ground, and that's when Mike realized he jumped 2 years into the future. As far as the world was concerned, Mike had simply faded away into obscurity, although many wondered what had happened to him. Then, 18 years later, in September of 2015, Mike appeared on Art Bell's show one final time. And we have a clip from that right here.
So, when you woke up, did you have memory of what you had done? I mean, what condition were you in when...
Well, when I came through the other side, so to speak, I had total amnesia. That EMF and all that magnetism basically messed with my brain. So
I'm sure it would. I believe, like other mammals, we have magnetite, don't we, in our brains?
Well, I mean, it's basically your brain's electrochemical. So
right.
basically, magnets will mess with electric fields. So.
Right. So how could you possibly have gone 200 miles? And it was east, you say?
Yeah, this was in Overland Park, Kansas, and I ended up, the nearest town I landed near was Fairfield, Ohio. You can Google map that. That's basically roughly 800 miles east. So
800 miles.
But it took me quite a while to figure out to remember what the heck I did, and then I figure out, okay, where the heck am I? So.
And where were you? I mean, when you woke up, what were you on the ground? Were you in the middle of a shopping center?
Basically in the middle of a field. So.
Oh, that's actually at least lucky, I guess. Middle of a field.
I guess it rides the Earth's gravitational field, so I don't end up in space. So, which was basically one of my other concerns if I tried to leave too far. So.
Of course. Oh my goodness. So, here you are coming. Your clothes were okay. You were okay. You were stunned.
I was saying, it's okay. Basically, I wasn't on fire. Other than basically my nervous system all screwed up. It was basically the equivalent of getting hit with a flashbang for, I'd say, anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. I mean, I couldn't for a minute. I couldn't even remember my own name. So.
For a minute, I get that. Okay, that's shock. You were in shock, clearly. How quickly did your memory begin to come back?
I would say probably an hour. It took me probably an hour or so to get my bearings, and it's like, okay. I mean, in 1995, I don't remember if they had GPS or not. I know, well, actually, this is well, okay, that's another thing, too. Basically, I did this in 1998, and on the other side, when I landed in Ohio, that was 2000. So
2000.
Yeah, so basically, not only did I jump 800 miles, but it was skipped over 2 years, too. So
800 miles in 2 years.
Yeah, so I want to know from both of you, how high is your bullshit detector pinging right now? Or is it at all?
Well, okay, there's one problem with time travel to begin with.
Okay.
If you travel from this day forward a couple years, the Earth's in a different place. Not only just going around the sun,
true.
but the solar system moves too. So does the Milky Way galaxy.
Right.
So everything moves, and the speeds are like crazy fast. So it's like if you do travel 2 years from now, like he said, you'd just be in space.
So he fixed that with the thing about the Earth's gravitational pull. So that keeps you in Earth's orbit. So you'll always manifest somewhere
I just think
on the
that,
planet.
I think to really fix that, I think you would need like quantum computing running like such a crazy amount of calculations to make sure that it puts you where you're actually on the Earth.
Yeah, because I was wondering, even if you do reappear on the Earth, how do you know you're not going to reappear where half of you is inside a tree?
Yeah,
or you're in the
exactly.
middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
Or you're in, I don't know, part of a building, like a concrete wall. How do you know where you're going to reappear?
It's fun to take a globe and find the place to where you can actually see almost all water.
Mm-hmm.
There is a view. There's on the edges, there are some land, but so chances are you'd be in water.
Right.
So if I was
Earth
going to
is
jump in a portal,
70%.
Where did this happen at?
Oh, well, it was in Overland Park, Kansas was where it happened, and he ended up near Fairfield, Ohio. So there you go. Sam is on
yeah,
Google
and if
Maps.
you Google Map it, it's going to say that it takes 2 years. No, I'm kidding.
Maybe to like moonwalk there. Do the
Moonwalk.
worm there.
He describes what he's doing in detail, not so much detail where it's directly where somebody could just build it, but I mean enough to where if there were any grain of truth to this,
Wait,
like I said, Uber,
how many miles?
800.
he said 800.
That's only 600. That's 598 miles.
From
probably
Overland Park,
rounded.
Kansas.
Overland Park, Kansas to Fairfield, Ohio.
Yeah.
Is 598 miles.
Well,
So he's missing 300 miles.
or 200. He said it was 800.
Yes.
That's weird because I thought I Google mapped it during my research and I thought it came out to almost 800 miles. I don't know what that is. I mean, it's not like the story's true anyway.
Right.
Despite however many miles, I don't believe any of it.
I mean, it's off, but at least it's not off like, 1,000 miles or something.
Maybe
It's off
Mike
a few
thinks.
hundred miles.
Yeah. So, okay, since that interview, all right, Mike Madman Markham seems to have gone off the radar again, not via time travel. He's just a recluse, right? His story has become popular, and especially it's like this big internet myth now with heated debates over its validity, which I don't think there's that many debates, but
No.
he's also one of Art Bell's most talked about guests. Regardless of whether or not time travel is possible, I found an arrest record in the Kansas City newspaper stating Mike was arrested for parole violation on April 9th, 1999 in Kansas City, which is right smack in the middle of that supposed 2-year gap, which he claims to have been time traveling.
Oh, that's not, yeah.
There's also no record of him ever being reported as a missing person. You think someone would, report him. Either way, there's no doubt his story will remain on the Coast to Coast AM Mount Rushmore indefinitely, even though I do think it's total BS.
I mean, but at its core, it's like if you're driving, listen to that at night. I mean, it'd just be cool to hear.
It's a good story.
Even if you are, we watch all kinds of fictional things all the time.
Yeah.
And this is something that's trying to pass as truth, but it's okay. I'll allow it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's kind of cool in a way, like you described before the episode or
It's
at the
fun.
beginning of the episode.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
Yeah. So really, that's the episode. That's, as far as Art Bell and Coast to Coast, the genesis and history of the show, that's it. Now, like I said earlier, I've mined several clips from decades of Coast to Coast. And, I'm sure, here's the thing. Golly, I think it was a nightly show. There are probably thousands of hours of that show. I may have listened to 25 hours. Maybe not even that much, but this is what I got. And I also did look up, I tried to specifically put in the best of Art Bell, the best of Coast to Coast.
Sure. And a ton of stuff on the YouTube.
Mm-hmm. I found some clips like that from YouTube. And then I found on Spotify, you can listen to a ton of old episodes of Coast to Coast. So I just listened to a bunch of those and found a lot of these myself. So basically, I have a bunch of clips, but for however long Sam wants to, honestly, dude, there's a lot. So it's for however many of these Sam wants to mess with editing and clipping out. We'll listen to them, we'll riff on them, talk about them, laugh about them, and just go down memory lane, with Coast to Coast. So let's do that now. Let's listen to some clips.
I got a story here for you.
All right.
My story happened in Canyon City, Colorado. I was going to school at a religious school.
Yes.
And every weekend I'd go to this nativity shop a couple miles down the road just for something to do for the sake of diversity. One day in particular, I passed a farm that had a flock of sheep, and the little buzzards were kind of cool. I'd never seen sheep before outside the realm of TV. So I observed a sheep was standing in the corner of the fenced-in area.
Are you a city boy?
Yeah, I am.
Must be.
And I observed a sheep standing in the corner of the fenced-in area as still as a statue, while the entirety of the other part of the flock was stuffing their face in a typical sheep-like manner.
Sure.
A couple of days later, I saw the same thing, flocked together, munching, strange statue-like sheep on the other side of the field, not eating. So the next week, the same thing, but this time the rancher was there. So I asked him, why the statue-like sheep was so weird. Did someone clock it in the head or something? It's the darndest sheep, he said. That sheep won't eat in the daytime, only at night. I said, bizarre. He said, you can say that again. It's also scared of other sheep, but product is product, and that's what counts. I said, that's for sure.
The sheep was scared of other sheep.
One night I was coming back from the party, and I was walking by, and I could see a lone sheep, the lone sheep eating it or chewing in the moonlight. All the other sheep, needless to say, were sleeping, but I couldn't see the sheep put its head down to pull up grass or hay. What's going on here? It was kind of it was weird.
You mean it was eating in midair?
Yeah, it was eating in midair. It was totally bizarre. I couldn't understand it. So one evening I had just purchased some night vision goggles on the black market for a tidy price, tidy in the sense that it was cheap. I thought I'd walk by the sheep again that night. I looked through my goggles as I was approaching the sheep to test them out, since it was absolutely dark and there was no moonlight that night to speak of.
Yes.
Looking through the night vision goggles, I had to check my goggles thinking they might be lemons because of what I was seeing. I tried again, and there it was again. The sheep was stretching out its neck, standing on its hind legs. There, to my absolute amazement, was this neon green image of an upside-down man holding his hand high, apparently hand-feeding the sheep. And around him were other people walking upside down with an occasional neon image of what looked like dogs.
Wow!
Yeah, this is totally bizarre. I sat there and tried to keep my composure for several minutes until I couldn't help myself. I picked up a rock and threw it at the neon image of the upside-down man feeding the sheep. The rock hit the sheep instead that he was feeding, and the upside-down man stopped abruptly. He looked over my way, apparently spotting me. Yeah. He made some hand gestures to the others that were walking around him, and they all disappeared. When I took the goggles down to start running, I saw several baseball-sized red dots coming at me. I ran as fast as my feet could carry me, somehow lost them hiding in a combine. I stayed there for about 3 hours. With an occasional red dot passing by. After about 3 hours, I got out of the combine and ran, like you would not believe, back to my dorm in complete terror.
Of course. Moral of this story, never throw stones at ghosts.
And it's true, too, Art.
I appreciate the story, sir. Thank you. What a remarkable story. And so the sheep, only eating at night, fed by spirits, up on its hind legs, reaching as its... Oh, man, what a story.
Wow. So, yeah. First off, let's talk about this. This guy didn't have a vehicle, I guess, because everywhere he went, he walked. And everywhere he went required him to walk past this field of sheep, I guess. He went to a party that night. And by the way, when you walk 2 miles to a party, you got to bring your night vision goggles.
Yeah, you do.
I guess he just had them in his back pocket.
That's why he bought them. Maybe he bought them because maybe he thought he may need them for the sheep encounter.
Walking at night.
That's
Pretty
true.
sure you can get night vision goggles not on the black market.
Well,
also,
I've heard of this other thing you can get called a flashlight.
yeah,
Which is, you don't even have to buy that from the black market.
So that's
more of the light market.
He sees this sheep standing up on its hind legs, eating in the air, and after putting on his night vision goggles, he sees these these green orb-looking creatures hanging upside down, feeding this sheep.
Yeah,
and then he said, "I couldn't help myself. I just threw a rock at him."
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that what you'd do?
Yeah, get off our planet. You don't belong here.
And it hit the sheep instead. And so the green men turn into red orbs and they chase them around for 3 hours. The moral of that story is, well, like Art said, don't throw rocks at ghosts feeding sheep.
It's kind of a Aesop's fable type thing, right? Yeah.
So that's a good example of some really good old-fashioned crazy ass.
I believe the madman. Based on those 2 stories, I'm going to have to say the other one. If I have to pick one.
All right, so we want to do the next one?
Let's do another one. That was fun.
All right, also, that music you heard in there was not me. That was in that video. So any of that added stuff, for once, is not my production.
Card line, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay, sir. Where are you?
I'm in Mendocino County, California.
Okay.
I just wanted to make a comment about these people who have been astrally molested or
again, sir, some people use the word ghost, some say entity, some say evil entity, some say alien.
Yeah,
these are just our perceptions. It's something.
Well, my comment is I had an out-of-body experience about 4 years ago in Amarillo, Texas, while traveling.
Uh-huh.
And I was just, that experience was so real to me that I decided to read all the literature I could find on the astral projection and out-of-body experiences.
There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot out there for sure. And one book that I read, I think it was Journeys Out of the Body. I forget. It's a really popular one. I forget the author's name.
Yes, doesn't matter.
He explained how he did an experiment while he was out of his body, and he went and spied on one of his friends and pinched her. And the next day, while he did that, she actually jumped, and the next day he went to her and told her that he did that, and she lifted up her shirt and had a bruise where that had happened.
Well, okay, I see exactly, of course, where you're going. Now, we know that the world is full of all kinds of different people, and if astral projection is real, which I believe it to be, I've interviewed many people on the subject, then some of the people out there might take sexual advantage of others in that condition, let's face it. And so that could be one of the things we're talking about here.
Yeah, the guy's like, so Your Honor, it's because someone else did astral projection.
Literally. Astral.
And therefore I'm innocent, Your Honor.
Astral injection. So that guy was just putting forth the very real possibility and a real warning. Watch out for those astral projective molesters out there. Someone could just appear in your bedroom or in your bathroom while you're taking a shower and just grab a handful and then astral project right out of there.
Dude, it'd be hard to make a list to put those people on. It's like they're not even in your neighborhood.
No.
Oh, man.
You astral projected from the other side of the country.
Yeah.
How do we do that?
I don't know.
It's pretty crazy.
There's something strange not in your neighborhood.
Who are you going to call? We don't know.
Astral projectors just be molesting. Just be popping in here molesting and popping back out. How do you defend against that?
Oh, man.
Right?
That's tough. That's a tough one.
Fanny in Alabama on the wild card line. Fanny, how you doing?
Hey. Well, I know the reason why Barack Obama's mother can't be located. I believe that she's running from the law and the press because she knows the truth about her son being a Muslim, and I have proof of that. And if he's a terrorist, he's going to hide it, and he wants to get in the White House and use that to blow the whole world up. I believe in that theory, and I have pictures of him that nobody wants to look at. I gave it to 10 television stations, and they made out like they didn't see the pictures.
I bet she has a lot of pictures no one wants to look at.
This is him with 2 other Muslim men wearing a purple bubo robe and a white kufi hat, which is given upon completion at the Hajj after completing several steps. Just like in the Masons, when you're in the Shriner, you get a Shriner's hat. It's similar to that, only the Shriners are not the same. It's just a similar way of getting a hat.
Fanny from Alabama.
Fanny, where'd you get these secret photos?
Yeah.
Did they just come in the mail? Where'd you get them? Or are these photos of an Obama trip to Africa?
Yes, but this is a different trip and different photos. And if he is exposed, he can be impeached as a senator. And then if he gets elected president, he can be impeached for lying under oath and saying that he was born in the United States when he's not.
Yeah, so Fanny from Alabama came into possession pictures that proved Barack Obama, I guess, was going to blow the whole world up.
It's all just a bunch of baseless
She's just
junk.
nuts. Yeah, she's just nuts.
That show didn't get political. I mean, he didn't know. He just let her talk.
Yeah, and in typical Art Bell fashion, someone could say anything and he'd just be like, wowzer.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you for your story.
Yeah, thank you for your story. It's fantastic, like even though we've seen that documentary, a very Jerry Springer-ish type.
Yeah.
Like, tell your story. We know it's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
But we're going to let you talk.
Yeah.
When no one else will.
Yeah, true.
I'm going to start playing those when I go to bed at night.
You should. It's great
I
listening.
mean, it seems like that'd be a good way to fall asleep.
We'll do one
Let's
more.
do one more.
Pulled up.
You just pick it out. Yeah.
Hello, Art.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Frank in Eastern Washington. How are you?
I'm fine, Frank.
Well, I tell you, I got a story about I was visited by aliens. Last summer, I was out there in the backyard, and there's lights. It was late at night, and there's lights going all around, and pretty soon, what happened is they started to converge right in the middle, and they came down, and it was like a ship, and landed right in my field. And I got about 10 acres out there.
Yes, sir.
And these little guys came out, and they were gray. I tell you, these were the grays. And they came out, and they went up to me, and I swear to goodness, I was scared, and I didn't know what to do. I thought they were going to hurt me or something and take me away in their ship. And, I got things to do, So I mean, anyway, there they were, and they were pointing at me, and they're talking amongst themselves in kind of a threatening manner, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't have my shotgun with me, so I just pulled out. I had some pepper spray, and they got them big old eyes.
You pepper sprayed grays?
Yeah, they didn't like that one bit.
Oh, I'm sure with those big eyes. My God, man. And so what happened when you hit them with the pepper spray? What happened?
Well, I tell you, they start hopping around. They don't have no eyelids.
They were hopping around? Oh, that's right. No eyelids. Oh, my God.
They were mad at me, I tell you. And one of them that I didn't get real good, he pointed his finger at me.
Yeah.
And, I think he had something in his hand or something. But then I couldn't move. And
he obviously paralyzed you. Yeah.
I tell you. And then they brought me in there.
Can you
and
blame them?
all those stories about those anal probes? Those are true. I tell you, they really got me good.
Well,
and my dog was in the house. He was carrying on and everything.
Yeah.
They even anal probed him. I tell you,
my God, even your dog. All right, well, I'm sorry to hear it. I hope life is better to you as the years roll by. I appreciate the call.
That was a great one.
That one, the guy, I think, was obviously just full of shit, and Art knew it.
No.
I mean, he was purposefully lampooning.
He was full of anal probe.
They got my dog, too. Oh, that was a good one, man. Anyway, yeah, so, there's a bunch more clips, but all I can say, y'all out there listening in podcast land, is just look up. You can look them up on Spotify is where I found a lot of these, or on YouTube, or tons and tons of good old Coast to Coast AM clips.
I'll promote the real site. It said there's a thing. I was looking around to see where you could listen to it. You can listen to it online, but you can become an insider and you can access the vault, which I guess is all the old Art Bell episodes.
Yes.
So
it's called The Vault.
if you want to go the legit way, do that.
Yeah, and I do. I want to close this episode out by giving a little nod to Deetra and Frankie.
Okay.
We missed, last week. Normally we post an episode every Friday, and I posted on our socials that there was a lot of stuff going on. I won't get into details. Nothing bad. It was just life, great stuff. Actually, all great.
I'll tell you, I was out of town for half a week, so I was in Florida. So there was no way to edit anything.
Sam had
and then Ivan had some good family things.
Yeah, I got a little granddaughter now.
Yeah.
Beautiful,
awesome.
adorable little grandbaby. And so it was all amazing, great. Nothing happened with me. I was just sitting there. But
that's how it always happens. Every time we take a break, me and Ivan are doing stuff, and you are not doing the daggum thing.
No, I have no life. I'm just at home. I'm just changing diapers, wiping butts, mowing the yard while you guys are out living life. But it's cool, man.
Yeah, you're living life too. Hey, I was going to tell you guys, her name's Murphy, and it's kind of loosely based on Interstellar, like the daddy-daughter relationship. Yeah, that was one of the ideas.
That's super cool, man.
That's like one of their favorite movies.
Well, congratulations to Ivan for a second beautiful grandbaby.
Yeah, they're awesome.
So we were out. We missed for the greatest of reasons on all sides.
Yeah, I went to Universal Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah,
again.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
and you got to see the Mario World.
I did. Yeah, I went to Epic Universe for a day. Got to see Super Mario World. Got to see Isle of Berk from How to Train Your Dragon. It's amazing. It is now my favorite theme park because of how good everything looks. It's
when
incredible.
we went, it was too new. You couldn't get it. You couldn't get tickets.
You did go, or did you go?
Yeah, but we didn't go there because
you just went to Universal.
So it was several months before it opened, but by then it was already sold out it was like one of the first few days it was open.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we couldn't get in there. But eventually, if I ever go back.
It's still very busy.
Yeah, I'm sure. It'll be busy from now.
Mm-hmm.
And while that was all going on for you guys, I was working either my second or my third job to support all my kids, clutching the sides of a small worker's basket, dangling from the end of a crane 60 feet in the air, praying to every god that I wouldn't die to earn some money that day. So that's what I was doing.
Yeah, and you sent that picture, and I did say on there, I don't know why my thought was that it would be something practical and safe that you would be up in.
Hell no. No, it was a haphazard metal basket, and it was blowing 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts that day. We were swaying back and forth.
Very windy that day.
Don't tell OSHA.
They will never know. They don't listen to this. I have a crippling fear of heights, so that just seemed like the thing to do. I thought I was going to die, but I didn't, and we got through it. And anyway, I said all that to say, that's why we missed a week. And it was so sweet on one of the socials when I posted, hey, I apologize, but, we're not going to have an episode this coming Friday. She's a longtime listener. Deetra is a longtime listener. And she made a comment, as long as you come back with a new one, because, it's the highlight of our week to listen to new episodes. So her and Frankie, I looked that up. So I figured, that's such a nice thing to say.
Sure.
And she has been, man. She's been following us forever and listening for a long time, and Frankie as well. So I just wanted to say this episode is dedicated to you guys. Thank you for listening.
I'll tell you this. If you want new episodes weekly, I don't know of a lot of podcasts that do it as long of the streak as we will, because we'll go a few years without missing a week.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It's crazy. In fact, one of our Buzzsprout reports said that, I don't know, we're like upper echelon of podcasts that release every week without missing. So it's crazy.
Yeah. At first, when you look at the number of podcasts, you'll see that there's over 600,000. And it's just a sinking feeling like, my God, how are we supposed to get noticed out of that many? But then the percentage of, like you said, of podcasts that actually put out consistent weekly content for any longer period than a few months, it's actually not, it's a very small portion of that. Very small.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, we've been doing this over 7 years now? It was last August was 7 years. And we have only missed a week. You could probably count on two hands the time we've missed a week in 7 years.
And
so
sometimes we put out an old episode or something.
Yeah. And you know why that is? It's because Ivan and myself and Sam love doing this. We love hanging out. We love talking about this stuff. We just love it. That's really all there is. God knows we don't make money from this. We don't have any notoriety. No one knows us at all, but it's just freaking fun, and that's why we do it.
Having said that, if you look at all our plays and you put the individual people that listen to episodes, it'd be a lot of people.
It's way more than I realized. Yeah.
It would be stressful to do if you take all the regular listeners and let's say they were in like a auditorium when we had to do the show live, I mean, it would be a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I would totally not be able to do it.
No, neither would I.
It's different now that we're not staring at them. I think about them, but I don't have to see them.
That's true. But yeah, so I just wanted to throw that out there. I hope everyone had or is having a great Halloween. Actually, this will come out Halloween morning. So I hope everyone listening has a great Halloween tonight and be safe. And, to be honest, let's go back to our Ronald Candyman O'Brien. Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Episode. There's really a very minute chance that there's like a razor blade in your candy. That really is not a thing. That's really not a thing.
Yeah.
So go trick or treat, have fun. The world is not as scary as you think. So once again, thank you all for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Good night.
Let me tell you about some fellas I know, named Ivan, Sam, and Joe. They got themselves a little podcast, you know. And they talk about everything under the sun that they find interesting, spooky, or fun. And they sure ain't trying to impress no one. The remedy to too much time on your hands is take a little listen to the dawn of Manti. They talk about killers, monsters, and cults, French mates from hell, disappeared folks. Occasionally throw in a few dad jokes. They try to make every story extra nice by adding their own ginger spice. Not one time or two, but thrice. The remedy to too much time on your hands is take a little listen to the dawn of Manti. Now I'm sure these fellas will be around for quite a spell, 'cause there sure ain't no shortage of stories to tell, 'cause this old world's as weird as hell. But hell, even if nobody listened, they'd maintain a fine disposition, 'cause shooting the breeze is kind of their mission. The remedy to too much time on your hands is take a little listen to the dawn of man.